Miami Heat. They are coming off a good outing against Toronto.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, Greg. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard for it. As they should have.
It'll be Los Angeles off the tip. Now let's check out our starters for the Los Angeles Lakers. Howard is out there with Anthony Davis. Then there's Russell Westbrook. Then it's LeBron James. And it's Kobe in at the shooting guard position. Now here is Howard. Kicks it to Westbrook. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And Howard, here we go. Bosh grabs the miss. Well, a scary moment for Chris Bosh last year. Had to be shut down, Greg, as we all know, for the season after a blood clot was found in his lung.
You know, and Kevin, it really puts basketball in perspective. I mean, it happened right after the trade deadline, and obviously a huge blow to the Heat in terms of their push for the postseason. But fortunately, it looks like he's going to make a full recovery and have a huge impact this season.
And so it's the Heat getting on the board first, and the shot is good.
He's got so much junk in his trunk. He'll find a way to hurt you.
Last game for the Lakers, it was a loss to the Knicks in New York.
And the effort down the stretch, those final few minutes of regulation, you know, that's what they needed, but they were burnt out in the overtime.
Yeah, that's a good call, Greg. I mean, there was a little bit of a letdown for them in OT, and that can happen after you expend so much energy just to force the overtime.
Here are the Lakers with the ball. Outside, Kobe. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. Back to Westbrook. Fades and shoots. That's good. Westbrook's got his first points in this one.
What great touch there on the fadeaway. Man, right in his face.
James against Butler. Now the dish to Wade. And Lowry has it in the corner. And he gets the bucket. Lowry's got his first 2 points of the night.
And right out of the gates, they are locked and loaded. 3 straight scores early.
Westbrook kicks to James. Ball's knocked loose. It's good, and he makes his first shot of the game.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Now here's Wade. Coming in off a 12-point game his last outing. Butler is screen on Bryant. Wade kicks to Butler. And the 3 off target.
Well, they finally miss on their 4th shot of the game. That's a good way to start things off.
And Davis wide open. He shoots. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra. And what'd you find out, Doris?
I asked him what he thought would be the key for them, and he told me dealing with the penetration of Russell Westbrook. He's one of the most explosive athletes in the game. We've got to send him to help and rotate early to deny him finishes at the rim. Guys, that's never easy.
And thank you for that, Doris. Now Kobe, following the miss by Kyle Lowry from deep. Left side, Davis, 16 feet away. And that one hits back iron.
No breathing room at all to take that shot.
Here's Wade. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there, Greg.
And a great stretch of games here for Wade at the end of a great stretch of games for Wade at the end of last season. I mean, he turned back the clock, if you will, for a while and really helped carry this Heat team.
The first one falls. Well, Greg, you know, I remember that stretch with Wade you're talking about. It seems like he finally now feels healthy, Clark, and it shows.
Wade himself said, Kevin, it was the best he felt in a couple of years. Health is such a big factor for him given how he plays and selectively now likes to attack the rim.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. Well, Greg, after a run of 10 playoff trips in 11 years, the Miami Heat missing the postseason last year, they'd end up a game back of the 8th spot.
Yeah, and what's hard for the Heat, Kevin, is that they were in the playoff picture for most of the year. And as the season wore on, they slowly fell out of that top 8.
You know, guys, for the greater part of last season, it appeared as though the Heat were playoff bound. Even with the players they lost, most figured they would be playing postseason basketball.
And one reason why the Heat did come up short in their playoff aspirations, they were very poor against other teams in the playoffs. So only went 15-31 against teams that had made it into the postseason last year.
First one falls for him. And for Kobe Bryant, how difficult was last season? Starting out strong, even though the team, Greg, around him wasn't very good. But then everything, including Bryant, fell to pieces.
And when you're a competitor, the way this guy is a competitor, you can't stand to lose. So you push your body to the limit to avoid that. But what happens at age 36 when you've got the kind of miles that Kobe Bryant has, you know, you just can't go it alone. That's why Kobe lasted only 35 games.
Now here is Lowry. He's coming off a 37-point game against Toronto.
And also, he competed on the backboards. That also had a lot to do with the game.
Now here's Westbrook. After Dwayne Wade's miss, Westbrook passes to Davis. He kicks it to LeBron. Launches it. No good. Some solid defense from Butler.
You know, you go back to Kobe Bryant, he pushed himself so hard last season, though his points per game average was up. Field goal percentage was the worst of his career. Just felt he had a better chance to score than anyone else on the team, and it's real hard to argue that he was wrong about that.
Here's Westbrook after the made shot from Dwayne Wade. And here's Westbrook. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Knicks in New York.
And it just wasn't about the offense. I mean, he was racking up the steals and taking advantage of some sloppy play by the opponent. And guys, you know Kobe Bryant, words can't describe what he's meant to his team, really to the league and the game of basketball. You just wonder when he's finally going to say, you know what, I've done all I can do. That's enough. Retirement's been hinted at, but until I see it, knowing how competitive Kobe is, I just won't believe it.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Lakers trail by 3. Westbrook with it. Puts one up from 19. Here's Howard. And that's good. A nice job on the glass as they pick up 2 on the second effort.
And that putback about as easy a bucket as you're going to get.
Exactly what happens when you don't box out, Greg.
Here's the closer. 14 points from him the last game against Toronto.
Yeah, but the rebounding in that game as well was just tremendous. I mean, he dominated the backboard.
Now here's Butler. 3 on the clock. Anthony Davis grabs the miss.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Westbrook dishes to James. The jump hook, and good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down.
And with that height advantage right there, he had a good, clear look at the basket. Well, whether you call him the brow or ant or the future, Anthony Davis made the leap in year 3 to franchise superstar. I mean, still, though, he remains humble, determined to improve, and dedicated to maximizing his immense potential.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. And his former coach, Monty Williams, played with some greats. Tim Duncan, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing. He says he sees that same desire to dominate in Anthony Davis.
Yeah, he wants to be great and doesn't see himself as a finished product, which is a good thing. That means he's going to continue to stay humble and hungry and put the work in.
The Heat making a switch here. Deng's checked in, and Los Angeles making a change here as well. Rajon Rondo is checked in for Bryant. Heat have gotten 5 of 10 shots to drop in this game so far, right at the 50% mark. Lowry kicks to Wade. And it's Deng in the corner. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade.
These defenders had better start closing out on those shooters.
That's 2 in a row, and we call that a streak.
The drive by James. That is good. James has got the game tied up here for Los Angeles.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Now, here is Lowry. He's got 5. Bosh, the screen. Shot clock at 6. The shot by Wade, no good.
I think in that situation, that was a nice try to create some space for himself with the fadeaway.
Rondo with it. Lowry picks him up. Rondo against Lowry. Rondo kicks to Davis. Shoots from the elbow. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
Shot's good.
You know, as soon as he recognized the height mismatch, he immediately pulled up for the jumper.
And, Greg, that's just good basketball. Come on, good basketball there. A clean look from that range. He's got to take it.
And, guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Los Angeles.
Really impressed with their post play so far.
They've established their presence in the paint tonight. Also, a lot of their scoring to this point coming from down low.
And how about Anthony Davis? Grew 7 inches in one summer back in high school. You know, people forget he was committed to go to Cleveland State to play point guard out of high school, but then because of that growth ends up signing at Kentucky, and the rest is history. So I mean, you look at that 215-pound frame his rookie season, now up over 240, and that's enabled him to dominate the game even more, and I think it'll also help him improve his health.
Good. And it's Rondo who picks up the assist. And it's 7 points for Anthony Davis.
If you're waiting for him to miss when he's that open, you're going to be in for a long wait.
And it's Wade penetrating to halt the run. And that one's good. His second basket of 4, shooting 50%. And Davis admitted he might have stayed another season at Kentucky if he'd known how NBA players would go at him physically in his rookie season.
Yeah, they look to punish him, but he's put on the weight he needs to hold his ground now. He doesn't want to get too much bigger, though. Quickness is such a huge part of his game. Doesn't want to lose that.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Lowry passes to Wade. Right side a screen. Wade kicks to Whiteside. No good. Davis with some nice D.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the boards.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
Now here's Davis. 20 points for him last game against New York.
Yeah, and talk about his scoring. I mean, Kevin, with the defense trying to pressure him, he did a good job of getting them to overcommit and getting himself to the line.
T-Wade on the wing. Back to Stoudemire. And it's Miami with another.
Well, if you like offense, that's what you're getting here early on.
This has a little bit of playground feel to it, fellas. I mean, forget about defending. Just outscore the other team. Let it fly.
Here is Davis after Amari Stoudemire's bucket. Baseline jumper. And Davis can't get it to go.
Yeah, good tough D there to get a hand up and force that miss.
That's example number one of why he is such a strong defensive player and why he has such a great defensive reputation.
Miami's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Wade outside. Whiteside dishes to Lowry. And the rejection by Sanders. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession. Brandon Bass is checked in for Anthony Davis.
And guys, the Lakers last season were just a completely different team after Kobe's injury. Not so much in results, but just in how they played on the floor. They actually fared better without Kobe than most thought they would.
.127 left in the first quarter. 4 on the clock. Wade. Offensive rebound. The Lakers in the lead. Here's Bazemore. Throws down the breakaway jam.
Wow, that's a really smooth finish.
That's why we and they always love seeing him at the end of those breaks. He makes it look fun and easy.
Now here is Lowry. He's got 5. Can't make good off the pick.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
Got that one up quick. Now it's a 6-point Laker lead.
And he found the perfect spot behind the arc there. Big gap in the D.
Dishes it to Whiteside. Good ball movement here by the Heat. Stoudemire, the screen. Wade passes to Stoudemire. And it's Dang in the corner. Gets to the corner and buries it. Dang's got 5.
I tell you, it's absolutely amazing how easy Dang makes it look with shots like that.
Sanders, high post. Ariza outside. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they've shot the basketball.
Very high percentage so far, and if you want to start a game hot, that's the way to do it.
Now here's Wade, guarded closer. And he banks in the layup. 10 points for him.
How can you stop that? With the crossover that quick, that lightning quick, a defender has to be almost superhuman to stay in front of that.
From deep three-point range. And we reached the end of the first quarter. Los Angeles on top, up by 4. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. And Kobe Bryant dealing with the wear and tear of decades in the league. He talks about how he remains effective. Well, at Kobe's age, and with the 2 years worth of injuries, is coming back for him just a matter of Greg adjustments, or is that another way of saying he has to limit everyone's expectation, including his own?
You know what? When it comes to Kobe Bryant, history has shown that the normal rules just don't apply.
True.
I think it's the rest of the league that's going to have to adjust.
Talk about putting something extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
I'm startled that he would even try something like that at this stage of the game.
Miami trailing. Pass to Bosch. Double team on Bosch. Left side, Dang. And they're unable to get the tying basket there. The Lakers shooting it very well tonight, around 57%. Shots good from Young.
A great assist. Nice work from Russell Westbrook.
And Miami shooting well, 50% from the floor. And there's the defensive 3-second call. The Heat shooting their third free throw shot of the game.
And team stats last season, 74% shooting, so some numbers that they can definitely improve upon.
And, you know, whenever they get into a stretch where it looked like maybe they would turn it around at the line, they would immediately take a step back.
On occasions last year, the Lakers were all right on offense. Other times, they were just stagnant. There was just no motion, nothing going on.
That's a great point. And their ball movement could use some work. A lot of ISOs last season, and it killed a lot of the flow the team had in the half court.
And Miami making a change here. Tucker's checked in, and it's Butler missing.
Usually, if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's his first foul.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Davis is checked in. Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. From deep. They get it back. Second shot opportunity. Howard can't hit.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
Wash kicks to Butler. Rebounded by the Lakers.
You know, for the Lakers, they were okay in the assist department, guys, but they were dead last in the league in secondary assists. That, to me, is indicative of an inefficient offense and also a new stat category. Kyle Lowry with a beautiful setup.
For Los Angeles, they've gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter, going just 1 for 5. Screen by Howard. LeBron against Butler. The turnaround. Again, James missing.
And for the Lakers and that secondary assist stat, that just means they aren't making the extra pass, or it means they are holding on to the ball too long. Either way, it hurts the offense.
That's how you make an impact with defense. And once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered. The floor is open. Take care of business.
Always an advantage when you can get out in the open floor. You get much better rhythm offensively. And this lead, I think, is headed up.
Great D that time from Howard. Lakers leading by 4. And Young, here we go. And there's Howard. That's good on the assist by Young. Howard's got his second bucket of the night.
Really good awareness right there on the assist.
Lowry kicks it to Tucker to the right side. There's the closer. And the shot falls short this time.
You love the closeout on that possession.
Excellent defense, active, and he made it a very tough shot for him.
The drive by James, and that's basket number 4. He's taken 9 shots to this point.
That was the third straight high percentage look this defense has allowed. I mean, these defenders have got to start bumping bodies in the paint. Be more physical, be more aggressive.
The game's just far too easy right now when it comes to attacking the basket. They have got to do better.
You know, the turnaround jumper, guys, is one of those shots that always just looks so good. I mean, it's got that nice, smooth, singular motion. Sweet.
Puts up a 3. No good. And Miami the other way now. This, their first look at this year's Los Angeles squad.
And one of the few bright spots of their last season was sweeping the season series in this matchup.
Yeah, for sure. Neither team a big-time contender in their respective conferences, Greg, but when the teams are fairly evenly matched, it can still be entertaining basketball.
Bosch against Howard. From 7. The kick out to Young. The 3 ball. And LeBron James good for 3.
For 3.
James has got 11.
They are really getting the work done inside with their rebound.
The defensive backboard has been controlled. They have not allowed a lot of second chances. It's been about one and done for the most part, and I'm not talking about leaving college.
Yeah, I know you're not. That's a bunch of good rebounding taking place there, boy.
Well, you look back at the 2015 Heat, and the injuries are what probably brought that team down. We can go from Chris Bosh with the debilitating blood clot on his lung and on and on and on. The loss, of course, which was not an injury, of LeBron James. There are a lot of moving parts with that team.
And that's a great point, Kevin. If you take any star off of teams, things are going to get difficult. It was impressive that the Heat still managed to stay competitive once Bosh went out.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles.
You know, Bosh was the big injury hit for the Heat, but they had a lot of other injuries as well. I mean, had to use 31 different starting lineups last season, and 20 different players started at least one game.
The Lakers making a switch here. Ryan's checked in. Lakers leading by 7.
And injuries are something that you can't plan for, but you can prepare for them. And hopefully the Heat can avoid injury woes this season. If they can, they at least have players who have been through that struggle last year. And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making.
A nice shot by Tucker. Los Angeles has gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. Westbrook against Lowry. Westbrook kicks to Davis. Bosh with some nice deep. The Heat trail by 5. Butler attacking. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. They get Russell Westbrook.
Really impressed with the way Jimmy Butler last season made big strides in his game, going from a supporting role player to someone you can build your team around.
And Jimmy Butler had the career highs across the board last season, won the Most Improved Player of the Year award, really picking up his production in his 4th season.
You know, we had seen the flashes of potential in Butler before. Last season, he sustained great play and really took everything to the next level.
And he knocks down the first one. The Lakers weren't very good at all last season, Clark, and they just didn't have any teeth in their road games.
Well, you know, they shot threes on the road well, Kevin. Top percentage in the league, as a matter of fact. Still, they just couldn't hold on to leads.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And the Lakers would end with a road record of 9-32. That is a franchise worst for them and sums up the year they had away from Staples.
Davis dishes to Westbrook. Shot clock at 5. Gets the 14-footer to fall. Westbrook's got 6 points. Here is Lowry. He's got 5.
You know, looking at the Lakers, a big thing for them as we get back to their road woes is they didn't win a single game on the road in their division. In a word, that's terrible.
The drive by James.
He is one guy you do not stand in the way of when he decides to attack the rim.
The Heat trail by 7. The pass to Tucker. Here's the screen. And the rejection by James.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead. Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Here's the closer. He's guarded by Howard. That's good. 6 points for the closer. Los Angeles leading by 7. Here's Westbrook. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Whiteside's checked in for the closer. Stoudemire comes in for Chris Bosh. Luol Deng is checked in for P.J. Tucker. And Dwayne Wade subbed in for Jimmy Butler. The free throw drops for Russell Westbrook.
And who could forget the tear that Westbrook went on last season? I mean, after the All-Star break, it was just triple-double after triple-double for him.
Ariza with the rebound.
Now that's terrific defense at the rim. Got right in his path.
And you know they'll be conscious of him next time they take it inside, too. I mean, that's what really good defenders do. They make you think about their presence.
I tell you, he has some impressive moves in his repertoire. That's as good as it gets, but just one of many.
Here's Stoudemire, and he lays it straight in. Stoudemire's got his second bucket of the game to go.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening.
It really is, Clark. The defenders need to do a better job of closing those lanes to the hoop.
Bryant passes to Rondo. Screen by Sanders. Rondo kicks to Sanders. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
Now look here at the Heat, how they ranked in the NBA last season. 6th in opponent points per game, 11th in field goal percentage. And they were in the top half of the league in steals as well. Pretty impressive.
And back to their ranking in terms of opponents' points per game. Kind of an old school stat, but sometimes pace of play can factor in. But make no mistake, they made things difficult for their opponents.
No good on the free throw. A lot's been made of the Heat fans in the past for walking out during the finals game where they looked to be out of it. But credit, the Miami Heat fans, Greg, with last year sticking with this team.
Yeah, and in all fairness, I would have walked out as well because I thought it was over. But with LeBron out of town, a lot of Heat fans could have jumped off the bandwagon. But you know what? They stayed with it. So although the weather is fair, the fans are not.
Oh, well said. Thank you. And the second free throw, good.
And, for the Heat, despite the struggles, they still sold out every game here last season. They were among the top teams in the league in total attendance.
Timeout called, the Heat.
And really, they showed up in force, even as the Heat fell to the back of the pack. The Heat only 20-21 last year at American Airlines Arena, but the fans loved them all the same.
Lowry drives in.
And for Kyle Lowry, a guy who just has an unbelievable nose for the basketball, the triple-double comes naturally to him now. Top 10 in the league the past 2 seasons. In his short time with the Raptors, he's already their career leader in that category.
Miami shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight. That free throw, no good.
Boy, they're really battling, guys. Not sitting back, being aggressive, attacking when they have the chance. I like that.
Man, I like their approach to the game right now. There's tremendous aggression on both ends, putting the onus on the officials.
And he sinks the second. Now here's Rondo. His last outing, he had 8 points. Passes to Bazemore. Screened by Sanders. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. They get Hassan Whiteside. Getting back to Kyle Lowry, the reason he's always a triple-double threat, Clark, because of his great work on the glass for a guard. Tough, strong, relentless, and committed to getting rebounds.
He's got the attitude of a power forward, even though he is a point guard. That's why he's one of the best rebounding guards in the league. It's his mentality.
No good on that one.
Well, clearly the Lakers were not a great team. I mean, they did have one of their better bench units last season. They led the league in points off the bench, but that was more an indictment of the quality of the starters than the firepower of the bench.
And no good on the second free throw, so he goes 0 for 2 there. Last year, the Lakers did have some firepower off the bench. A lot of players would see their roles shift during the year, as you might expect for a team trying to find the right combination.
Yeah, they were also near the top in the league in bench minutes played. So whether you start or come off the bench last year in L.A., you'll see plenty of action.
Rondo dishes to Sanders. Bazemore passes to Rondo. He feeds it to Bazemore. This one for 3. It's hauled in by the Heat. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. Lowry kicks to Stoudemire. Plays it up and banks it in. Stoudemire's got his 3rd basket of the night.
Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it.
The drive by Rondo cans the 12-footer. Now Lowry, 6 points for him. Outside Dang. Stoudemire inside. Passes there. That one's good. The Laker lead is cut down now to just 6 points with that basket from Stoudemire. Los Angeles has gotten cold from deep in the second quarter. Just 2 of 6 from long range. Here is Rondo. Feeds to Bazemore. Up and in, off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field. Heat shooting at 51%. Really solid. Lowry kicks to Dang. Right side a screen. The drive by Wade. It's stolen by Bass. Ariza outside. The long distance 3 is buried. And now an 11-point Los Angeles lead.
And that's one of his strengths, knocking down those long-range jump shots.
Here's Stoudemire. The shot is off. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. There's 1:17 left in the first half of basketball. The shot by Rondo is no good. And Miami shooting at an even 50% from the floor here in the second quarter. Pass to Dang. Barry Sanders grabs the miss.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more. Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
Bass with the screen. Ariza has the open look, and it's good coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Rondo's got 4 assists in the game. The Heat trail by 12. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Dang kicks to Lowry. Stoudemire setting the pick for Lowry. Lowry drawing the double team. Stoudemire. That's tipped. Here's Bazemore. And the rejection by Stoudemire. And they're able to recover. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Lakers lead by 12. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Dwayne, a couple of quick questions for you. What's your attitude right now, and what do you think will be the team's focus for the second half?
Well, I mean, we just want the ball. We always got to rebound the ball. We got to get in there as a team, all of us, and rebound the ball. You know, they crash the glass, all of them. But at the end of the day, it's about getting a win. We can play any style, and tonight we just want to figure out how to get a win.
Dwayne, thank you so much. Gentlemen, he likes when they mix it up.
Okay, Doris, much appreciated. And now for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Ernie Johnson along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. A competitive matchup for the Lakers in the first quarter. At the end of the period, they held a 4-point lead. Things really started to heat up in that second quarter as they put together some nice runs and were able to pull out to a 12-point lead. And taking a look at the Lakers, Shaq, what'd you think?
Well, they really dictated the pace of the game with their transition game. They got out on the break every chance they had, and the time they could push the tempo, they did. And a lot of times it kept the defense scrambling like eggs with the cheese and apple juice.
Kenny, what'd you think about Miami?
Well, right now, they're getting a little embarrassed on the defensive end. They got outshot in the first half, but that's because no one put their foot down on defense to stop it. So in the second half, they need to play much more disruptive defensively. They have to do whatever it takes.
Just about time for the third quarter to get underway, and we'll see you again at the Horn.